As we start off, I just want to announce that Teepa cannot join us tonight. She's had an incident with a rental car and is not available. But as a team here, we're a pack and we're here to support you. We have Catherine and Rachel and Matthew as our team. And we will do our best to take your questions and help you with what's happening. I know that.
Can I just take a quick pause?
Sure thing.
The incident has nothing to do with Teepa's person.
Thank you.
She wasn't in an accident. Someone broke into her rental car, because I was seeing faces like, oh no, my God, what happened to Teepa? So, sorry, Carrie. There you go. I saw faces.
Thank you very much for clarifying. I appreciate that.
Hey, everybody. My name's Catherine. I'm a PAC trainer and mentor. I've been with the company. My first experience training with Teepa was in 6 years ago. And I've been with PAC for 5 and full-time for almost 5. So we're doing our best here today to support you and answer questions best we can with the experience. You have 3-4 very experienced people sitting here, all with different backgrounds, and we're going to do our best to support you. And again, what we don't know, maybe one of us will keep track and write the questions for Teepa, and we can come back on another webinar and answer them then. Hope that helps. Anybody have anything to share? Let's start with something good. Anybody have something good to share?
I do.
Excellent, Nancy, share it.
Well, my mom moved into assisted living, and after a couple times of, I don't know if this is going to work, she's now really settling in. And one of the obstacles was smoking pot, and she has been okay with not doing that and just using a little bit on the vape pen, but it just has been a non-issue. And this is huge, absolutely huge.
So what do you think made the difference from what her expectation was, her anticipation was, to what her now positive reality is?
Around the pot, I don't really she doesn't necessarily have an answer for that. She's just okay with it. But for the expectation around the staff that helps her in her room with bathing, some of them are Hispanic and their accent is hard for her to understand. And
so
it has helped is.
You're breaking up, Nancy. I think if you're driving, is anyone else having trouble?
I'm just sitting, but that's okay. Sorry.
Well, here's what I'm wondering about the environmental piece. That sounds like it's good. I'm wondering if when you transitioned her into assisted living, did you strive to create an environment that was functional and familiar and forgiving and friendly for her?
Well, yes, we got her there on a Thursday, and we had things right away really functional and familiar. And then my sister came on Saturday, and on Saturday and Sunday, she just worked some incredible magic. And she has these tapestries that she got overseas in Sri Lanka many years ago, and they weren't up at her other place, but of course they're familiar. And just the way my sister arranged it, she just loved it, and it really works. And the bed, she went from a queen bed to sister got a cover that beautiful that goes with everything. And
so is that something that's important to your mom, is that things look good, look nice, match? She chose something very purposefully, it sounds like, when she chose her tapestry. So it's sounds like to me, art matters to her. What's important to her? Is that accurate?
That it does somehow all together. It doesn't totally necessarily match, but it all very important for her.
So that's important to her. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for sharing that, Nancy. I think what you've brought out for some of us, as I know today, we've gotten some questions about transitioning to different levels of care, is that creating an environment that's familiar, whether it's arranging the furniture in a similar way as we possibly can, or bringing in familiar objects that are important to that person, or remind them of the past, of their family, or whatever's important to them and who they are. They are who they were, they're just different. So in celebrating that, it sounds like that actually helped that transition for your mom. Thank you, Nancy.
Immensely.
Anybody else? Carrie, you have any questions?
Yes. Let's see. Let's go to Kathy Kendall. Kathy, do you want to share your question? You want me to ask that for you?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, I'm going to get Sharon to talk to you.
Certainly.
This is Sharon. Hello, I'm off screen.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Just in regards, we've got a male resident in our dementia wing who has always been in a high position in the work that he's done, always had a lot of people working underneath him, was always told that he was the only one who could do the job that he was doing.
So he was an authority.
And he's taken on that role in the dementia wing with all the other residents, females especially. He was always noted by his family to be very male chauvinistic. Women have their place, and he's reliving that role with all the residents up there.
So do you have a question, or you're just presenting this is an issue we don't know what to do with it?
Yeah, we've tried different strategies with him. His main issue is that he's got a very short attention span, so even if we get him interested in something, it's very short-lived, and he'll actually seek out other residents.
What kind of things are you having him do?
Well, we've just gone through his life story, and he was in construction. He built bores. He was interested in planes and stuff like that, so we've got him building things. Having one-on-one conversations with him about the things that he used to do with a bore. He was in Iran during the war at some stage working as an engineer, and there was an issue where he was belittled in front of people for something that happened, and whether that's stage that he's reliving now, I don't know.
Yeah, this is tricky to try to break these things down when you've tried things. So it sounds like you're trying to work with who he was. So he was in charge of things, and he liked to build things. So you're giving him things to build.
Yeah.
Are they things is he interested in the things you're asking him to build, or is it just something?
No. He enjoys it, but he'll only last like 5-10 minutes, and you can tell the whole time he's looking around, seeking out residents that he can go and tell what to do. And there's one other particular male resident that they kind of seek each other out to stir each other up.
Oh, you mean that they create conflict? They have conflict.
Yeah. It's like that they're both trying to be the alpha male out of the 28 residents. So
I'm wondering if you now know that he lasts about an average of 10 minutes with engaging in one thing that's important to him. What do you have lined up behind that?
Usually try and redirect him outside because he likes to be out in the garden. But once he channels in on a resident, you can't redirect him anywhere. He just gets aggressive. So.
Okay, so it's sounding to me like he's having an unmet need, perhaps. Perhaps he's having an unmet need, which is what's pulling him away. So what I'd like to ask you is, is he having an unmet need? Maybe it sounds like it's an emotional one. Is he perhaps lonely? Could he feel lonely?
He hasn't really tried to attach to anyone in a friendship type way. It's totally controlling with everybody. It's like if he sees someone sitting down doing something, he will tell them to get up and go with him, or yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like finding an activity or activities that work for him, that are constantly moving, that get him to be in control. So he's making the decisions. So I'm wondering if there's a way you could get him engaged in activities in which he makes all the choices. If somehow you could make it, Bob, we need this help with this being fixed, and we need help with this being fixed. Which one do you think is more important first?
He used to go with the staff down, take the linen trolleys down to the laundry. That was a redirection for him, gave him something that he was in charge of, and he refuses to do that now as well. He doesn't want to help in that sense.
Okay, well, here's what I'm wondering is, if you make him the expert,
yes.
If you make him the expert and the one who knows how to do it, even if he's not physically doing it. So what do you think? Should I hold this side or this side? You're really good at this. I know you know how to, okay. So is it better to go this way or this way? Hey, tell me, is it, you see where I'm going? Get him to make the choices. Give him two choices that would work, but let him constantly, no, you tell me. You tell me, Bob, what do you think is the best way for this to happen? You're the expert. You are good at this. You know about this. So I'm wondering if reframing the way he lives within his day is letting him be able to tell you, giving him two options that are viable. You don't want to give him one and then say, oh no, I'm sorry, you can't do that one. How does that sound as something to try?
Yep, we can try that. Yep.
Thanks, Sharon. Thank
For
you
sure.
for sharing that and all the hard work you do.
Thank you.
What else? Any other questions?
Thank you so much. So just to recap for those who may have just joined us, Teepa had an incident with a rental car today, not her person, just a break-in, so she was not able to join us tonight. But we are PAC and we are here to support you. I wanted to offer the floor up to, I see Margie Hattori. Did you want to ask your question? You're on mute, Margie. Let me see if I can unmute you.
There, is that better?
Perfect.
Okay, great. So I live here in North Carolina in Durham, and my mother is 90 years old, has dementia, and we're going to need to move her from her house in California. And so she'll be moving into a small care home where there's a total of 6 residents. She'll have her own bedroom and a half bath. She's mobile with a walker, very forgetful. So sort of 2 parts to my question. And one is how to explain to her what's happening and get her to get on the plane and come to North Carolina. And then just how to help with the transition. I'm not clear. I visited her in December, and she has this kind of tunnel vision now where she physically can see, but does not notice things kind of on the periphery. And is it worth moving 4 pieces of furniture that she uses now? I'm just not sure how much attachment she has to the furniture she uses in her home. She is moving from the home that she's been in for over 60 years. So I'm just not quite clear how to handle the transition.
So here's from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a theme that keeps coming up already, is if you can give choices and empower that person to be a part of their reality, Mom, things are changing. Yeah, you're noticing, or they're not, but things are changing. You know what, Mom? Go through the house with me. You have collected some of the most beautiful things, or I know this is important to you. Which one do you like the most? This chair or this chair? Yeah, okay. So you can start making that mental tally or even literal, about what's important to her. Mom, if we sit in here, which picture is your favorite? Tell me, what's your favorite? That one. Yeah, I like that one too. So you're getting connected, letting her be in charge. Another important piece is being honest. Mom, it's time for some changes. You know what? I miss you. I miss you so much. And I found somewhere I can be closer to you. Yeah, and if she says, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I know you don't want to. Validating. Let's do that. I'll do it with Rachel. Rachel, do you want to do with me a little bit of this conversation?
Sure.
Would you like me to be mom and you be Margie?
I can be the mom. That's fine.
Okay, you be mom. Hey, mom. Listen.
Hi, Catherine.
Hey, mom. Listen. Things are changing. Yeah, I know things are different for you.
Well,
now.
I mean, really,
It's a little harder for you to get around.
They're not that bad. I mean, really, I think everything is pretty okay.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know you are fine, and things are pretty okay. It's just that I've noticed that we've been getting some calls about some things that you're struggling with a little bit. So
Well,
here's
who's
something.
been calling you?
I miss you. Can I pause this for a second? I'm going to pause for a second. Margie, does your mom know she's changing, or does she not know she's changing?
She knows that her memory is poor, but I don't know if she knows that that's changing. And actually, the reason for her move is financial, that we're going to actually need to sell our house in order to fund her care. So,
Okay.
So it's a little bit different in that sense.
And is she aware that there are financial issues? Okay.
No, and the main reason is because she doesn't remember the information, but she remembers the distress. So it's just she can't retain the information. So she doesn't know, for instance, I mean, we're planning the move probably in April, and she doesn't yet know that it's coming.
She doesn't know yet. Okay. Hang on a second. All right. So we're going to role play with that. Okay. So, Mom.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi. You know I love you.
Oh, I love you.
I know you do. So guess what? As a gift for you, I have found a beautiful place for you to come live near me. I miss you so much, and I'd love for you to be closer.
To you?
Closer to me.
Oh, to you.
To me. Yeah, Mom. So let me ask you, Mom. You have such a beautiful collection of things. You have filled the home you brought me up in. You have filled this home with beautiful things.
I have lots of nice things here.
You have lots of nice things, and this is when I walk in the door, I feel home.
Yeah, it's
so I want you to
a long time.
I want to make sure we bring home with us. So tell me, when we sit in this room, I know you have those special paintings. Which one is your favorite?
Well, they're all, I mean, I like all of them, because there's that one, and that's the one when we went on that trip, and
that trip, that
person, and I saw it, and I just had to get it, and I told my husband, I just have to have that painting.
Yeah, you told Daddy. I remember. Hey, so listen, I want to ask you a favor. Can we bring that picture? Can we bring that picture with us? At least just to try and see if it looks nice.
Well, I like that picture. That's a nice picture. That's a nice picture.
Because you have great taste. Okay, I'm going to pause this. So what are you noticing, Margie, about that interaction? This may not be exactly your situation, but what are you noticing? What am I paying attention to?
Well, the emotional connections, giving her choices, which is the ones that she likes the best. explaining the move as, I want you to be nearer to me. So this is sort of the positive aspects of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it worth a try?
Sure.
So what happens if it doesn't go well?
Mm-hmm.
Rachel? Mom, Mom, in April, it's time for you to come stay by me because I love having you near.
Well, I like you too, but I really like being here, and I don't want to go. I want to be here.
Yeah, I hear you, Mom. You like it here, and you don't want to go there. You do
I've
not
been
want
here for a long time, and I'm all my friends are here, and I've always been here. This is where I am.
You have always been here. You have been here for a long time. This is where your friends are. I know. And you know what, Mom? I am so sorry that maybe you're going to miss what you have here. This is really hard. I am really sorry, and I hate this for you. I hate it. I hate that this has to happen. I am so sorry. All I ask for me, because you know how much I love you and you love me, will you just try? Can we try?
Well, I could come visit you.
Will you? Yeah. Thank you, Mom. If you will come visit me and we see, and then we'll go from there. You're always the lady that said, let's just see, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'll come visit you, but I mean, I like you, but I like here. This is home. This is my home.
You're right.
And I
This
like
is your
my
home.
house.
That is your home and your house. How about this? Will you do me a favor? When you come visit me, will you bring that picture that you and Daddy bought?
Well, we can bring that picture, but you better be careful with that picture, because
you bet.
I mean, that's the picture. That's a picture when we went, and
I know.
we had the thing where, and I told him, oh, I have to have that picture. I mean, I just had to have that picture.
I know, and
So
you kept him in line, Mom. You sure did. Okay, I'm gonna pause this there. So, what did you notice about when she wasn't happy about it, Margie?
Well, just a lot of reflecting back what she was saying and validating, that this is something she likes where she lives, that this is going to be a change. And I like the idea of, will you just try it for a little while, because often a smaller step is easier than to say, this is a permanent move.
So people living with dementia sometimes, especially, it sounds like we're in that sort of diamond emerald area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you break it down from sequencing, start it and move one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gem song we use, break it down and I'll be fine. If we just break it down and validate, and then, hopefully, I hope that helps, Margie.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you, Margie, for sharing your experience with us. We have another person, Donna, has her mother who's also in some turmoil and distress, and maybe she can give us a little bit more information, but it seems like she's sundowning and argumentative. Donna, I'll bring you off of mute. Can you share with us?
Thank you. Yes, this has been going on for almost 4 weeks. Just suddenly one evening on a Friday, my father had given her evening medication, and she says, well, I'm ready for you to take me home now. And just, out of the clear blue, he didn't know what to do. So he discusses with her that you are home, and he produces mail and et cetera, et cetera. And the more he tries to convince her she's home, the more she is not at home. And she was just very frustrated, and she got argumentative, full of tears. Can't remember if it was that night or the next night. She called me in tears for me to come get her and take her home. He was holding her hostage. Mm-hmm. She threatened to call the police to tell them he was holding her hostage. That was the worst of it. She didn't call the police, but she has called several family members. And so we took her to her primary care and had labs done. Initially, we were told urinalysis was clear, but we were told yesterday, they called in an antibiotic. It did culture E. coli. So she's been on that for 24 hours. I'm not seeing any improvement yet, but I'm hoping that that will make a difference. A week and a half ago, her neurologist put her on Seroquel. That has not changed the delusions. It does calm her down, and she's not quite as argumentative. But she's a bit paranoid. You know, she doesn't trust him to give her any medicine when she's like this. She's afraid that he'll come in the night and kick her out or make her leave because she's in somebody else's house. And
Does your mom have a diagnosis yet?
She has a complicated road to this place. The neurologist has never said she has dementia. But she,
Well,
6 years ago, 7 years ago, she had lymphoma that affected her nervous system. It was in her central nervous system, in the fluid of the brain.
Okay, so it sounds like she's living with brain change.
Definitely.
And it's sounding to me, I'm hearing at least 2 parts of her brain are being affected. So if you're talking about changes in hallucinations or seeing things, is that accurate?
Yes. Well,
okay,
not necessarily seeing things, but
like paranoia.
Yeah, paranoia. She's not where she.
Okay, so she's a little bit lost in space and time. That's in her hippocampus. So she's definitely showing signs of more than one part of her brain is showing changes or failing her to some
Let me give you a little bit more information. Chemo 6 years ago, but 2 years ago, the lymphoma relapsed in her brain in the right parietal lobe. And she did have 25 doses of radiation, whole brain radiation. So we have radiation effect.
Yep.
Short-term memory loss. She does not remember yesterday.
So that sounds like she's definitely experiencing brain change and brain death, brain failure.
Right.
In different areas.
Yes.
So the thing is, though, if you see an instant change, I think you did the right thing is by getting a blood workup done. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it sounds though she does not have a diagnosis. I'm not a diagnostician, but would my team members or anybody else nod your heads or give a thumbs up? It is sounding like there's at least one or more, at least 2 places of her brain are starting to change.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be dementia. That is dementia. The umbrella term dementia is when at least 2 parts of the brain are actively dying. Mm-hmm. It keeps progressing and things are starting to get worse, even though that's not a great word. They're progressing along with the changes or the shrinkage or the death. Mm-hmm. Nothing's helping fix it. Those are basically some of the hallmarks of dementia. So if she's got dementia, which it sounds mm-hmm. like, there are 2 other things that sometimes can affect what it looks like. And they are delirium caused by infections, and they happen fast. And then there's depression, which actually can happen very, very slowly. But all of a sudden, what? Things are changing. Because depression is actually a chemical disorder. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if you check the chemical part, the delirium, is she having a fever? Or is she showing signs of infection? Have you looked at or talked to your physician about the depression aspect?
She's on Zoloft, has been for multiple years. Mm-hmm. And it was increased about 6 months ago, a little bit. Her cognitive function has significantly decreased in the last 6 months. And the neurologist told us the end of January when we saw her and asking about all this, she said that her words were, at this point, it progresses quickly. But she didn't tell me what progresses means and what quickly means.
Yeah, that's a really fairly blank open term. I would say general, it's everybody's experience of dementia is different. So that's so random. I don't know.
I know.
Let me ask.
I'm
Is your question
following up with that?
So if you've already followed up with, this is what happened, this is what we've tried. So you've already looked at delirium depression. So it's definitely her dementia. Is your question, what do we do about these changes that we're seeing that are frustrating both us and her?
Are there any other tactics we can use? She's learned, there is a part of her brain that is clear, so to speak. And she has learned distraction.
So tell me more about let me start with this. Is there anything that you've seen already, maybe in that last role play, that you might think might help? Anything that I did in that last role play that maybe, never thought of that.
There have been times that she has talked about she needs to be in a home, she needs to be somewhere else. My father's not been very supportive with her. He's not able to adjust his expectations.
Yeah. So that's okay. So now we're getting to a little bit of it sounds like something is that, so it's about the relationship. Her primary relationship is with your dad. Mm-hmm. And that's struggling. How much support is he getting outside of supporting her?
He doesn't want any. I attend a caregiver support group, and he's attended once with me, and he said he didn't care to go back. They don't do anything for me. So
how often are you able to, or is there anyone else in relationship with your mom? So right now, if he's not too interested, he's not ready yet. It's not that he can't, he's just not ready yet. Is there anyone else who could be in relationship with your mom in a supportive way more often?
We have a paid caregiver that comes out twice a week. She has no responsibilities to the family, so to speak. When I'm there, I'm problem solving. I'm trying to, do what I can with her. I have, their finances to deal with, so I have multiple roles up there. But the caregiver comes in. She's a wonderful, bubbly personality that is a playmate, basically, and she keeps.
Does that work for your mom?
It does. Mm-hmm.
Does your mom share with her those things? Is I got to go home, get me out of here, or she save that for your dad and you?
She saves the worst part of it for we think some of it is sundowners, but during the day, she will say, he took me somewhere last night, I wasn't at home, and he wouldn't take me home. She states it as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily emotional. She's just frustrated. She has had a couple of days this week that it was still very heavy on her mind, and she was emotional about it.
So matter of fact, it's still emotional. It sounds like frustrated is still emotional. Yeah.
And the caregiver just makes a joke of things. She is.
So what is so what is one thing, Donna, that you would like, just one little thing that you would like to see or learn something about that you could do differently for you? One little thing. One little thing.
Any other way of interacting with her to calm her down?
To calm her down. So tell me what it sounds like when you would like to know. What does it sound like? You say what she says when you would like to go, oh, I wish I knew what to do here.
Today she was, I am so tired of being here. I want to go home, and he won't take me home. I can't keep on like this. This has, got me all out of sorts. It's been so long since I've done anything.
Okay. So how about this? Why don't Rachel and I role play a little bit, and I want you all to watch and see if you notice some similarities to what you saw from the last time when I role played with Margie. And okay, I mean when Rachel and I role played Margie's question. Okay, Rachel, do you want to be Donna's mom,
Sure.
or do you want to switch? It's
No, I
up to
can
you.
be the mom.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Hey, I need to get I need to get out of here. He's kept me here long enough, and I can't do this anymore. I don't know when the last time was. I actually went and did something. This is about to make me go batty. I just can't take this anymore. This just I need to get out of here.
Oh
I
my
have to
gosh,
go home.
mom, wow. You are wanting to get out of here. He is keeping you, and you're about to go batty.
Well, you can go batty.
Wow.
I never get out, and they've been keeping me here, and this is not the right place. I need to go home. I need to go to the right one.
Okay, he's keeping you out of the right home. Mom, tell me which home you want to go to.
Well,
tell me about the
home. I want to go home.
Tell me, what is your home?
Right home.
Do you want to go to the little home on the farm, or do you want to go to the bigger house where I was with you when I was a little girl? When Catherine was small, do you want to go to the farmhouse when you were a little girl, or do you want to go to the house where Catherine was your baby?
I don't know. I want to go home, and this isn't the right one, and they're keeping me in this place, and
It's not the right one.
I need to go, and they won't let me go.
They won't let you go. I'm really sorry. Okay, I'm going to pause us. What did anybody can share out? What did you notice? I mean, did you notice some of the same things that I was doing? Matthew, what did you notice? What was I doing? These are PAC skills. What are the same things that I'm doing?
Well, definitely reflecting back, letting her know that you hear what she's saying and that you're here with her in this moment, and not trying to push your agenda onto her or change her to somewhere else.
Yeah, so it's that whole idea of the redirection. Sometimes trying to get her to think about something else is not going to work. But sometimes using that same skill of validation. Now, how did I validate? What did you notice, Matthew? How did I validate her?
You used her words. You repeated her words.
I used the words. Did I try to be cheerful and make her like, oh, you want to go home?
You met her where she was.
Yeah, so that's another skill, is use their words, meet them where they are, and that's what we call validating. Validating. She wants to go home. With that brain that she's living with, you can't change that reality that this does not feel like home. And I started to go down another path. So Matthew or Rachel, what was the path I went on? Because she clearly, even though I could say, no, you live here, this is your home, that's not going to work.
No, that wasn't.
What did I ask?
You wanted to know which home, and I couldn't tell you that.
Okay, but sometimes people do. You couldn't tell me that, but if we went down the line of questioning, and for time here, this can take a long time. So you don't know which home. Can I show you a picture? Is this the home or is this the home? Again, giving choices and staying with her, not pushing back. And then again, always, I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody noticed, I was doing some breathing. This is hard. People living with dementia, or all human beings, really respond to visual cues first. So sometimes when we sing our song about ambers, we say, I can do things if I copy you. So sometimes just yeah. And then saying, I'm sorry, this is hard. I hate it. I know you don't like this. I don't like it either. But can we go together? So is there one thing from there, Donna, that you think maybe you could try?
I've tried I'm sorry. I don't think I've been very attentive to trying to reflect back her words. When I have asked her which home, tell me about home, where is it you're wanting to go? She tells her current living address. And so we've gone to the driveway and even looked at her mailbox and shouted, yeah, that's her. Look at the house. Yes, that's hers, but that's not my home.
Right. So what I ask, here's another question then. This is for the group. What is home? Why do people often ask, I want to go home? What do you find at home? What does home mean to you? And all I can answer from me is home means safety, familiarity, love, family. It's okay for me to make a mistake and be forgiven. That's what home means. And sometimes people living in environments where it's not okay to make mistakes, it's not okay to be changing, and not the expectations are still here. And I used to be able to meet them here, but it keeps changing for me what I can do. And most people are only noticing what I can't do and not meeting me. So when somebody says, I want to go home, often it's, what does home mean? It's not just a structure. So sometimes digging deeper into what are you missing about your home? What do you like about your home? What do you love at home? What's your favorite room in your home? What's your favorite thing to do in your home or not do in your home? Home is a big deal. I hope that helps, Donna. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks. Good ideas. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll continue on this moving people, or let's see, I think I'll bring Phoebe in. Phoebe, are you ready?
Hi, Phoebe.
Hi. That was very helpful, both of the last questions.
Okay, good.
Yeah, a lot of ideas.
What can we do for you?
Well, I had been sharing that my mom is she moved from her kind of regular assisted living to kind of a memory wing. They're kind of fudging it a little. It's not really official. And I'm trying to kind of float the idea to her that she could move up closer to me. She's about a little less than 2 hours away, and I'd love to be able to just have easy, casual visits with her. I have teenagers, they could stop by. It would be great for us. And I'm not sure how it would be for her. So I was saying that I started to ask her mention that, there's a possibility she could live somewhere closer to me. And she said, well, what I really liked was when I could drive to see you, but I don't have a car now. And I can't do that. I could get a car, but that costs a lot of money to maintain. And so it took me by surprise because, of course, she can't drive because of her cognitive impairment. So we talked a little about how great it was when she could visit and what a great feeling it was for her to come and how the kids would wait. So I kind of just went there with her, which I'm glad I did in that moment, was what she needed. But at the same time, I'm not quite sure. I don't know where to go from here in terms of trying to float the idea some more.
So what I'm hearing from you, Phoebe, is that you're having the potential opportunity of bringing your mom closer to you.
Right.
And talking about this with your mother is bringing up that, ooh, I really miss that I could drive and I could come see you.
Right.
And I can't now anymore. And so I'm sensing that you're feeling a little bit worried that it's going to continue down that path. you don't want to go there. You want her to come closer, but you don't want her to get into that. Well, I really would like to drive to come see you. Is that what you're wondering? Okay.
Yeah, it was like, oh, because I know that one thing that's happened is that her judgment and her sense of herself is so distorted now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say, well, Mom, don't you remember? I know not to do that.
Right. Yeah. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you find yourself starting to step on a slippery slope and you don't want to go down that slope.
Right.
So I'm curious, when you're talking with your mom about this potential move,
Right.
and you're giving her choices, potentially trying to make sure that those choices that you're giving have more to do about you two spending more time with each other versus some of the other choice could be that it's not as much.
Right.
And maybe the more you focus on, oh, Mom, so you know what? I think I have a way for us to be able to spend more time together. What do you think? Would you like to have that chance? And then going down that direction, talking about the things you guys could do together, having that opportunity to be closer without making it sound more like, hey, distance wise, moving this way, which is triggering that, distance.
Oh, right.
Where I'm going. Car. Well, if I had a car, that wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
So talking
That's
more
a really
about
good point.
how much more you can do together,
Right.
being closer like that versus talking about, this place is closer to me, Mom, versus this other place is not so close.
Right. Right. So I'd be really creating a warm picture for her of what like the result would be, what it would feel like.
So comparing more of what it's going to be.
What's important to her.
Yeah. Right.
Also know, Phoebe, that Teepa has a really good webinar on our store.
Okay.
A whole webinar about how to help people stop driving. It is a huge issue.
I mean, she stopped. She just doesn't, she just thinks it kind of happened and doesn't know what it was about. She's forgotten what led to her stopping.
Oh, I'm sorry. I popped in on that a
That's
little bit.
okay. No, that's okay. Yeah, she stopped and she just.
But for everybody, that driving thing is a big deal. So if anybody else needs to know, it is huge.
It was huge. Right. Right. Yeah, I think it's a thing of what you were saying earlier about just trying to stay with her. Because as soon as I got that answer that was like, oh, no, we're going down this road, I just let everything go, and felt frustrated that we didn't get anywhere with it.
Right. Yeah. And
So,
in those
try to stay
moments when
with
we
her.
have the
Yeah.
and we're hitting into that amygdala and it's getting us like, oh no, and we're starting to focus in and get the tunnel vision, it's hard for us to see where we can go. So being able to step back when we have any loved one living with dementia, start to bring something up that we're a little scared about talking to them on those subjects, being able to take that deep breath and be like, oh yeah, true. Oh, but Mom, when we're together, just think, we could bake cookies like we used to, and we would have that time to do that, and getting into those activities or those things that you both have enjoyed, and talk about how much more that can occur given this new situation. And not bringing up the, Mom, if you were living closer at this new place.
Right, because that's just hard to, grab onto. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you. That's
welcome,
helpful.
Phoebe.
I'm going to write it down.
One other thought that I had was just the idea of going more for the emotion instead of the actual object. And
I'm better at the cerebral part. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just thinking it's more of a connection and really focusing on the relationship.
Right.
And so, oh, Mom, I was thinking, it's kind of like, ooh, tell you what. Or, oh, I was thinking about when we used to, I really miss doing that with you. Or, so it's more of it's safe for you.
Right. Right.
And it's about feelings and it's about the relationship. Just 2 cents.
Right. Not all the logistics and right. Okay. Thank
At
you.
PAC, we say it's the primary thing when we do trainings or anything, it's all about the relationship.
Right.
It's always about the relationship. I do this. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Carrie, what else we got? Carrie?
All right, we have Sue Ludwig in our Zoom room. She sent a question earlier today. Mom has dementia, dad does not. They're currently living in Florida, needing to move to New England. How do you survive the move? How do you avoid meltdowns? Sue, do you have more?
Wow, Sue, that's huge. Wow. You know what? I guess between Matthew and Rachel and I and Teepa, of course, we could just answer that like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish, Sue. I wish. So it's curious. What was tell me, Carrie, did you say, how do I, or how do they handle this?
How do we handle it?
We. Okay.
Right.
I was just curious your perspective. So what's interesting to me is right now, at least from what I hear, you're working with these 3 people, at least in the core team that you're here presenting today, is you and your parents. Is that correct?
My stepsister as well.
Okay, so there's even another person.
Well, there are even more people, but as far as the flight back, it's going to be me and my dad and my stepsister and my stepmom.
Okay, so let's narrow it down then, because we can't answer that whole big thing. Step 1, again, listen, here's what I'm going to say. When someone is living with dementia, everyone around them is living with dementia.
Right. Yep.
Initiate, start something, step by step by step by step. So if we try to approach it from like, I'm coming in, I'm landing over the giant city, but I don't have the runway lights, we got to start at the first thing. What city am I landing in? That may not be the best analogy, but what I'm thinking is, what is the first step? What is the first challenge of this whole big picture? What airline are you going to choose? What is the first step of this big picture that maybe we can talk through right now that you feel is a challenge?
Well, she is only vaguely aware of this potential move. And my father is aware of it. And it's because he agreed to it finally that it's going to happen. I think my stepsister and I are up here in New England, and my brother is down there spending time with them right now. I haven't seen them, and she hasn't seen them in a year. So we're going to arrive in the beginning of March, and within a day or 2, we're going to get them all packed up and get on the plane and come back and go to their new home in assisted living.
Does she, so your dad knows he's going to assisted living with your mom, stepmom? Okay.
Yep.
Does she have any idea that this is happening?
Sort of. Well, they talked about it.
Okay, let me ask you this, Sue. What's the who or what is the biggest challenge for you right now? What's the one thing that you're going, I don't think I can handle this, or this is the one thing I know I need to deal with first?
I think my biggest fear is that she won't want to come with us. And,
okay, so does it have, I'm going to pause you. Does it have to be, Mom, pack up your things. We're packing your bags. We're going to get on a plane and we're going to move you to New England. Does she need to know all that? I don't know your relationship, so I'm just asking.
She's going to need to know at some point.
At some, okay, so there you go. At some point.
Right.
So sounds to me like the first step is pack up your favorite things. We're going on a trip. Let's get on an airplane. We're a family. We're traveling together. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
One step at a time. So I'm wondering if it's more your mom, stepmom, or your dad that's going to be the challenge to get on the plane to make the choices what they're going to bring. I'm really curious. I don't know.
Actually, I'm calling really for my stepsisters because I'm going to be there with one of them. And we're both wondering, how are we going to manage this? Because my father has said, okay, he'll do it. So I know he'll do it. He won't like it. He hasn't flown in years, and neither is she.
Okay. But he's okay with it. He doesn't like it, but he's going to tolerate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mom doesn't really know, your stepmom doesn't know anything. Is that correct?
They've talked about, moving back up north to be closer to her daughters, which I think she would like, maybe.
Okay. So here's another cool thing is, what it sounds like, do you or your stepsister, who has the best relationship with you? Does anybody have a particularly, between you and your stepsister, have a stronger relationship with your stepmom?
Oh, her daughters do, for sure.
Okay. So you've got somebody to partner with stepmom, your stepsister to partner stepmom, and guess what? Then that gives you ability to do.
Well, I'm going to be with my dad.
Partner with your dad.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can kind of strategize together. Again, when these kind of transition happens, if you can get a team, that is ideal. If you can build your team. And again, what we keep saying, it's all about relationships. So maximizing the relationships that you have to step by step move through this. So maybe can you and your sister say, I'm going to work with dad. I'm going to connect with dad. I'm going to make sure I'm there with dad. I'm going to validate dad and his, I don't like this. This is hard. And then your sister, connect with your mom. Can you do this?
I think that's our plan. That's why I'm going down and why she's going down.
Okay.
One of each of their children.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like then it's still, you're worried about this big picture thing. Is like,
well, I mean, they've been in Florida. They haven't come back to New England for, I don't know, about 3-4 years. No, maybe even more. And you can't even, sometimes she won't even do the simplest thing, like she had a chance to get a pedicure and she had a meltdown because she didn't want to get a pedicure. I mean,
yeah, she didn't like the sensation of people touching her feet,
or whatever.
Her senses, whatever. Her senses are getting heightened, and it's a little more sensitive. And those feet, hands, mouth, other areas are getting really sensitive. So the way you like, what you used to like or experience that in those places is different now. Yeah. So I'm wondering for you, Sue, I'm sorry that I can't just say, or Matthew or Rachel, there's not one answer to this. The only thing I see is just taking it that, like, you have started it off great because you have set it up so you guys are going to have those relationships.
Right.
So you are already setting yourself up for success. But I'm wondering if the breaking it down and letting it be step by step by step. And as we talked about earlier, you do the best you can, then you move on to the next thing. You do the best you can. You might have great success, or you say, I'm sorry, and you try something different. you do the best you can, and you
But
move through those
ultimately, we
baby
have to
steps.
get on the plane. I mean, we've rented
Okay,
the
so
assisted living. We'll have the
so
tickets.
so okay, so is it that she just won't get on a plane? Because that's a
I
different
don't
issue.
know. I don't know what she might
Yeah.
do. And her daughter doesn't know what she might do. None of us know.
Yeah,
You know,
we
we're
don't
all
know.
sort of
You don't.
wondering,
Yeah.
how's this
Yeah.
going to go?
So here's what I'm wondering is the same kind of skills we've been talking about is, wow, Mom. Let's try it. Let's try Matthew and Rachel. Can you be Mom and Dad?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Dad, can I talk to you for a second real quick?
Sure. What's going on?
Hey, listen, Dad, I really appreciate your support, and I know it's not what you want to do, but I am so grateful that you are willing to help us bring Mom to where the family is, and you bring yourself too. You have been amazing. You have done an amazing job of taking care of her in a really challenging situation, and I appreciate you helping. Here's the thing. This is going to be with Mom, and I'm hoping you and I can team together to support them because I don't know, but I'm afraid that Mom might resist getting on the plane a little bit. But you and she have a really good relationship right now. And here's what I'm wondering. Can you ask her to be with you, to help you, to support you in somehow the way she used to when she was more herself than she is now, or herself that you knew? Can you help me, like, maybe be with Mom and say, I don't know, whatever it is you guys did. Come on, sweetheart. I want to sit next to you and hold your hand. This is going to be fun. You like roller coaster rides. Not that we hope it's not a roller coaster ride flight, but something like that.
Yeah.
Dad, can you help me? Can you help me with Mom? Help us with Mom. Because you just connect with her on something that you two connected with, and then ask her to be important in this experience somehow. Can you help me figure out what that might be?
Yeah, I can say that. My dad has taken care of her for years by himself, and he's almost 92.
Oh my
So-
goodness, God bless.
So that's kind of amazing. But
So right
I
there,
think
Sue,
that-
right there, Sue, you've got the dad. You have taken care of Mom for so long. You are so connected and bonded. Can you help me help Mom?
Okay, that's a thought.
That's again, I'm seeing some themes repeating here. Is can you let someone be at the very least feel in control of making decisions and being in charge and knowing what's best?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be the person living with dementia, it can be the care partner they're living with while in transition. Can you give choices that are valid no matter what choice is made to make someone feel in control of this transition? That is hard.
Yeah.
And validate it's hard.
Yeah.
And then can we just try?
Yeah.
Step by step by step by step. Sue,
Okay.
thank you. I hope that helps. I hope there's here's what we hope with all these huge big issues. Here's what we hope to take away when you're listening, whether you're participating or listening. Is there one little nugget? One. Oh, that's one little thing I can try.
Mm-hmm.
One little thing to try, because this thing of dementia is the giant umbrella, and there are so many what ifs, hows, whys, and everybody wants we wish there was a quick fix. We wish there was a pill. We wish there was something that fixed everything. We wish we knew how to fix things because we always were able to fix things.
Yeah.
The only thing we can do is try one thing at a time. And guess what? Sometimes that one thing works. And you go, ooh, just that little baby thing worked. Woo-hoo.
I just don't want to be thrown off the plane.
Sue, actually, good point. You don't want to be thrown off the plane because you're working with someone living with dementia. Have you heard about, there are cards, it's not just from us, we offer them. There are cards you can print on your own, or little slips of paper that you can pass out to anyone near you that says, I am traveling with a person living with dementia. Please understand they may say or do things that may not seem appropriate to you. Please do not be offended. We're doing the best we can, or something like that. There are cards that exist. I think we have some on our website. And you just throw them at the cab driver, the car driver, at the waiter at the restaurant. And then if you have to, you just say, give a visual cue and say, I'm really sorry. We're doing our best. She's living with dementia, which means her brain is changing and she doesn't have that filter anymore. And it's not you. She's doing the best. We're all doing our best. I thank you for your patience.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe traveling with cards might be a good idea.
Yes, as long as she doesn't see the cards, because she doesn't admit that there's anything wrong with her.
Absolutely not. You don't say, literally, you just go like, look, and also if she's living with dementia, here's a great way. Here's your gift. Her visual field is narrowing, so she's not going to see what you're doing over here.
Good, I hope not. She would be so offended. She tries so hard.
Of course she does. She's doing the best she can. She always has. So.
Yeah, she always has. That's true. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Sue, I don't know if you're familiar with the gem states that Teepa has.
Yeah.
I don't know where you might think your mom might be in those states.
She's probably, I read them today, and she's definitely in the emerald gem, but maybe even a little bit of the amber.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if she's in maybe emerald or maybe even some amber, especially if you have more stressful situations, it tends to be harder.
Yeah.
So the lowering of gem state, you were talking about like being in airplane, airport. I was just wondering if you had thought maybe about sensory things like music, maybe headphones or something to make it quieter. If there's something that she actually enjoys, or do you have pictures on your phone that you could connect with her to kind of focus in on you and your interaction, to block out some of the noises and really help her focus on you, and you or your sister or stepsister can be that support and give her a break maybe from the environment. It was just, I know that it can be really challenging. It can be embarrassing, and having something in your back pocket, so to speak, might give you something to work with in terms of connecting and reducing distress for you and her and everybody around.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking about, I know she likes opera, and I don't know, I don't have any on my phone, but on the plane, obviously you can listen to music.
Yeah, I would make sure though, thank you, Rachel, that is awesome. Yes, just make sure it's not stimulating music. You want it to be like the calming, more, slow tempo, calming, whatever that means for her. Doesn't mean it can't be fun, but just not anything that's going to ramp up.
Right, yeah.
And also, I've done quite a bit of travel with people living with dementia, plane travel. Rachel is absolutely right, is how do you manage that? And part of that is maybe earphones. It's also, you can call ahead when you make a plane reservation. Make sure you speak to a human being and say, we would like early boarding, special this, special that. Absolutely. If your mom can walk with a walker, still get a wheelchair, because those ramps are really hard and the temperatures change very quickly. And also know if someone's pushing her in something, tell them to slow down right away. Do not let them just shuffle her along like they are doing. They're just task oriented.
Yeah.
You have to be her advocate and say, I need you to slow down, because all the information she is taking in, being in a wheelchair, which she's maybe not used to, or even
She
used
doesn't
to,
even use a walker. She doesn't
Right.
use a walker.
Right. So it doesn't matter. You can still say, we need extra time to board, and we need to be the last people off, and we need to be in this part of the plane. And you need to know, going through TSA, before you get to TSA, you have got, I've done this too many times to be able to tell you. TSA, I am telling you right now, this is a person living with dementia. And what does that mean? Here's my card. It means, can you please let me help you help her? When they ask her to do all these things, one thing at a time, go in there, put your hands up like this. She is going to need visual cues. She's going to need you giving simple verbal cues. And she might even need you to say, Mom, put your feet here, and help her if they're going to make her go through this.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is why with travel, this is we could do a whole other webinar on travel. Get as many people informed as possible before you get to the airport. The airport, the airline, the people you're traveling with is essential.
Okay. Yeah.
There are so many steps, and as many people ahead of time who you can get prepared is going to hopefully keep those amygdalae down.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about things like my stepsister said, gee, maybe we should fly first class, which is enormously expensive. So she would have fewer people around her and she wouldn't have to walk to the back of the plane. But I was thinking maybe we should sit in the back of the plane closer to the bathroom.
Well, or here's something I have tried. Ask the airline, tell them, like, you may have to upgrade to depends on the airline, but the sort of business class.
Yeah.
And call them and say, I am supporting a person living with dementia on this trip. Can we get that front, I don't know, there's a special name for it, the front seat or the second seat, which is right next to the first class.
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah. Okay.
Also know when you're traveling with bathrooms and someone, you can open them from the outside. There is actually a little latch because flight attendants need to be able to get in. They don't tell you about it. There's a special latch. So if someone needs privacy, you can get them in there. And I have found when you travel and you can sit right up next to first class, not in first class, but close up, and you connect in a relationship with the flight attendants. You can say, again, all along the way, I am supporting someone living with dementia who has special needs. I'm going to need to help her get into the bathroom, and I'm going to need to help her get herself on the toilet by shifting her clothing. Can you help me? Because first class is only taking care of a few people. Can you help me? I have never once not seen one person say, I'm going to stand right here while I open that door and half my body is out and half their body is in, get them on the toilet. And then for there, if possible, close the door. And if they need to lock it, they can, but I can unlock it and check it.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Can't lock yourself in there.
No, they can't. They can't.
Oh,
So it's called
God.
the bulkhead, that seat that you're thinking
That's
of.
it, Carrie. Thank you.
And the really perfect thing about that is that nobody is allowed to put anything in front of them.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know,
Right.
it's helpful.
There's less tripping hazards.
Right.
There's
get
more
that.
And it
legroom
also
there,
gives,
right?
if someone, it also gives, and I've seen it myself, if someone needs assistance sort of standing, you're not using the person in front of you chair to like
Yeah.
use as a standing. A person can get, if you get the person on the aisle seat, ideal. If you're the care partner, you are able to get into the aisle to physically support standing and mobility to get to the bathroom.
Okay.
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 Great.
Oh, those are good thoughts. All right.
Well, everybody, I'm not so sure that we have time for another big exploration. So I'm wondering, what do you think, Carrie? What are your thoughts?
I have one question that we've kind of touched on in a couple different ways, but this is different because somebody's dealing with their person living with dementia on the phone when they ask for a ride back to where they already are. So kind of verbal questions, if you can do that. And yeah, we only have like 6 minutes left, so not a lot of time, but I definitely
Well, okay, so when somebody's asking, can anyone give me more detail? Whoever asked that question, is it a Facebook question or a Zoom question?
That was Miss Jane, and Miss Jane, I've just unmuted you so that you can speak.
Because I'm wondering if this is sort of a I want to go home question. Is it similar to that?
It is and it isn't.
Okay.
She's at a memory unit. She has vascular dementia, and she's been there about 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
When she does ask to go home, I ask her, what do you want to do? Is there something you want? It's no, I don't want to be here. So then now it's like, oh no, I need you to pick me up to take me back to the nursing home. But you're already there.
Okay, so here are my thoughts. Is she's not having that left temporal formal language vocabulary that can say, no, not here, this I am. It's kind of vaguish. Does that sound accurate, Ms. Jane?
Yes, yes.
So she's still asking for, we're going back to this place, I want to go home because this place is not familiar, functional, forgiving. It's not the right social. Something here is not working for me. So I'm asking you to help me not be in a place that's not working for me. Does that maybe?
It might be. But she thinks she's at a friend's house. She's at a museum.
Yeah, well, maybe she is. Maybe she just sat next to somebody she really likes all day because they put her there. She's sitting next to somebody she likes, and then they took her to the activity room, and it's full of paintings done by other residents. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm just, from my experience, I'm going like, well, sure, I went to a museum, I saw all these great paintings, and then I was sitting next to my good friend Matthew Christopher all day. We had a good time, but then they took him away. Oh. Now he's not there because he's a man and he can't stay with me in my room. I'm just spitballing here.
Right. I'm just trying to redirect her on the phone, and that's the hard part because there's a lot of
on the phone. So what do you mean when you say redirecting?
Kind of calm her down and say, I don't know, I can't.
Yeah, calm her down. So here's what we tend to do when someone's in distress, and this is, we're doing the best we can, is, all right, Matthew, do this with me. Ready? Matthew, calm down. Just calm down.
What do you mean calm down?
You're
Look,
home.
no,
You're home.
hey,
Everything.
This is not my home. I am
down.
not. No,
Calm
I'm
down.
not. This is
Calm
not.
down.
Damn it! This is not my home.
It's a great place.
I don't belong here.
Okay.
Come and get me.
Okay. So what do you notice happening?
Escalating.
We try. Yeah. Do you notice that, Miss Jane, happening? Yeah. It's because when we try to, it's any one of us. Everybody think to yourself. when you are having a hard time with something where you are not comfortable, you don't like this, and then you're trying to tell somebody you trust, this is not working for me. And then they say, just calm down, honey, calm down. It's going to be okay. We'll take care of this. Does it ever calm you down when somebody just says, calm down?
No.
No, it goes worse. So if you're living with a brain that's changing, it's just getting worse. And also a brain that's maybe not being able to reason and rationalize. So I'm wondering if everybody can think for a second, maybe this is not the answer. It's just something to try. Something we've talked about a couple times tonight. When someone is in distress, a skill, a pack skill that we could try that might make it different.
Reflecting.
Matthew. Validating. Let's try it, Matthew. Ready?
Look, so Catherine, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. I really need you to come get me.
No, this is where you're supposed to be. Okay, wait, okay, then I would pause and say, wait a minute, this is not where you're supposed to be. Wow.
Yeah, I need to go home. I think I need you to come get me and take me back to the nursing home.
You are really wanting me to come back and take you back to that nursing home, the place you like. You like that place.
Yeah.
You like that place. Hey, Matthew.
Yeah.
Hey, Matthew, tell me, what are you looking forward to when you go back to that place? What do you like about that place?
I like that thing that we're doing where we put the stuff together, and
you like when we put the stuff together, right?
And it's nice, and it looks nice, and
you like making nice stuff. You like using your hands to make nice stuff.
Yeah, the nice stuff, and it's pretty.
The nice stuff. Okay, it's pretty. All right, I'm going to pause this. So right there, that's another repetition of the validation that repeats his words, his emotions, and then going with him, not trying to distract him to something totally different. I hope that helps everybody. We have come to an end. We have done the best we can without Teepa.
Yes.
But she's not dead. She just had a car break-in.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Some of you were not here when Carrie introduced. Teepa had an incident with her rental car, and she can't be with us anymore. her amygdala was a little raised, so
mine, yes, definitely.
But thank you, everyone, for joining us. I hope you've taken away one little thing that you can try, and if not, keep blogging and posting and emailing and whatever you do to ask questions, and Teepa will be back next time. And thank you, graciously, thank you for
put a link
letting us be a part of your day.
I put a link in our chat for our consultants. So if we didn't answer your question today, we'll try and answer it in our next session. I'll keep a track of that. And yes, thank you so much for your patience as we move forward with Kathleen at the Lee. Catherine, thank you very much. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.